even if you're not a hunter, you kind of have a stake in the game with this one. So a federal judge is weighing, like right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's happening as we speak. Whether to
bear hunt.
Bear hunt. Yeah. Sorry.
It's
That's
okay.
talking about Alcatraz. That's a different type of animal.
We'll get there.
Yeah. So bear hunt. And what they're talking about doing is after a 10-year hiatus, basically bringing the bear hunt back. You were showing us this map this morning that shows like how much the bear population has grown. And of course, my eye automatically goes to Southwest Florida.
Right.
It's gone up by like 50%.
Absolutely. And so that's the concern, right? Because people are like, well, what type of increase are you seeing? So FWC has this graphic on their website where they're showing you it's 50%, more than 50% across the state. And even in South Florida alone, that in number has jumped more than 50% as well.
So advocates for this bear hunt say the population's out of control. We're seeing more in populated areas. Something needs to be done. This is a controlled way to do it. You would have to get a permit, and it would be a season, December and January of this upcoming year. But opponents are like, there are other ways to go about this, right? Like, you know, I've never hunted. I don't know that I could. You know, I think they want you to target the males, not the moms and the babies, obviously. But they're like, you know, different types of trash maintenance. Because in Collier County, we see it all the time, especially in those rural areas up against the Everglades where the bear population is larger.
Yeah.
They're going for the food.
Yeah, right. And then in Lee County, you know, remember we saw that one like near Coles on 6 Mile Cypress?
Yeah.
These people are advocating and saying, listen, population and construction is a big part of what we're doing. So we should look at, you know, how do we cut back on that to kind of help the bear population as well from moving more inland, I guess.
Well, because we're basically building in their habitats,
Exactly.
right? But so easy to say, but it's like, oh, you're just going to stop growth. Southwest Florida's growing. I mean, hello, we grew up here.
Come on. And it didn't look like this.
It did not look like this
years ago.
Midpoint Bridge didn't exist when I was in school.
Come on.
And, you know, I think this also got legs, if you will, or at least a lot of attention when the gentleman in Collier County was killed by a bear down there. I mean, that's kind of the story that I remember. All of a sudden we were focused on the bears much more. That kind of brought it front and center. But to that point, that's like the first time ever in the history of the state of Florida that something like that has happened. Typically, they don't want anything to do with you. They want to have something to do with your trash can. But
typically it's those videos that we see, them rummaging, jumping in the pool, running around somebody's backyard, and we're like, oh, that's so cute.
I know.
But yeah, so that meeting started at 8:30, and essentially you mentioned there was this discussion about it just a couple months ago. That's the last time we were talking about it. And now we are looking at if this is going to become a permanent decision today. Commissioners started meeting at 8:30, so we're just waiting to see what comes out of that meeting. But it'll be very interesting. You're talking about decades of not doing this, and all of a sudden a season, December to January, with limited zones that you could do this, and you can't do it everywhere. We're looking at a big change for the state, possibly.